Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Clint Andre here, and today we are at the Tuschen Secondary School. So we're witnessing the opening of the Tuschen Secondary School. Stay tuned for the video. So we're now going to witness the arrival of His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Arfan, and he's coming in this helicopter there. Yeah, that's his arrival. Tuschen Secondary School. He's coming. Opening. He's coming in the dark color Land Cruiser there. About
By narrow domestic walls, where words come from a depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forth by thee into ever-winding thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country away. The National Pledge. I pledge myself and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of God, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energies towards the happiness and prosperity of Guyana. Thank you, and please be seated. His Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Arfan Ali, Commander-in-Chief and President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Honorable Priya Manik-Chan, Minister of Education, Honorable Indar Deodat, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, other central government officials, regional chairman, regional executive officer, and other regional officials, Deputy Chief Education Officers and other officers of the Ministry of Education, staff of Tuschen Secondary School, special invitees, consultant and engineering firms, contractors, parents, students, members of the media all, good morning.
Good morning.
It is indeed with great pleasure that I acknowledge you all here today as we have this very grand celebration, the commissioning of Tuschen Secondary School. I am Sherwin Blackman, the Assistant Chief Education Officer Secondary, and it will be my pleasure to take you through this program for today. Without any further delays, I wish to invite Mr. Nestor Thompson, the Deputy Head Teacher of the school, to bid us a warm welcome. Let's welcome him, please.
The head teacher is going to come on stage now of the Tuschen Secondary School.
Good morning all.
That's it. Good
His
morning.
Excellency, President Dr. Mohamed Arfan Ali, Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Priya Manik-Chan, officials of the Ministry of Education, all the government officials, regional...
Her poem. Let's welcome her.
She's coming to say a poem for Nepal.
A pleasant good morning, everyone. My poem is entitled My Guyana by Murphy D'Souza. I have heard of stories of long ago where our forefathers struggled so. They built our country with blood, sweat, and tears. From the cane fields to the rice fields, they endured the years. From the Amerindians to the Europeans, Africans to the East Indians, Portuguese to the Chinese, one all consider West Indians. But my Guyana is so special because we're one land with 6 races and we speak one language across many places.
Yeah.
Our economy is now blooming all over, taking us to prosperity. Attracting investors from across the globe is now a reality. With thousands of barrels of oil production, along with gold and diamond, we are even paid to keep our forests from destruction. With better education from nursery to university, we will stomp out poverty, ignorance, and illiteracy. With the advent of modern technology, my Guyana is born for success and prosperity. Today, as we celebrate as one Guyana, through cooperation, inclusivity, hard work, and determination, massive infrastructure are booming, along with roads, buildings, and roads abound. I pray that the spirit of unity be with all of us, taking us to higher heights without a fuss. Long live my beautiful Guyana as we celebrate this year as one Guyana. Thank you.
Well done, well done.
Well done, Miss Bell. Let's give her another round of applause. At this point, I wish to invite a very special young lady to the podium. Very jovial also, and I think has become a friend of those of the persons who she works with, based on her way of leading the Ministry of Education. And of course, with a passion for education, which she will tell you about as she comes to the podium, let us welcome the Honorable Priya Manik-Chan, Minister of Education. Let's give her a loud round of applause.
And we found the Potential Community Center and the Neems Primary Top and a 2-story building that is not conducive to learning, but we made it so conducive at Vreeden Hoop, and bottom houses and mandirs and masjids. And that's how we got by here in this region. And that was 2020. We never had universal secondary education here. Universal means all over, where everybody could go to a secondary school. And from then to now, we have completed the Westminster Secondary, which is a state-of-the-art secondary school holding over 800 children. We have built the D. Willem Secondary School. Today, President Arfan commissions this beautiful new Tuschen Secondary School. By October, we will be commissioning a very similar school to this at Neems on the west bank of Demerara. And by next year, the Crane Secondary School is going to be finished. 5 secondary schools in your region alone for your children. So that and we didn't stop there. We built a dormitory at Lenora so that the children of the Demerara and Essequibo River, Lanabali, Saxacali, Morrishi, Upper and Lower Bonasica, the children who couldn't get a secondary education could come and live at that dorm and go to any of the secondary schools here. And I want to thank Dr. Jerry Jailal for helping us bring that dorm to a place where it should be. And we still have work to do, but we are working together to make sure we do that. But why did we have to go on this feverish building? Because in 5 years under the AP and UAFC, not a single secondary school was started and finished in that entire 5 years, although we had left the funding and the drawings for 5 brand new secondary schools. So that is what your president inherited. And by next year, September 2026, all over this country, children will be able to go to a high school close to where they live and get a sound secondary education. Right now, President Ali has already commissioned 2 secondary schools in Region 1, the Northwest Secondary and the Waramuri Secondary. And we are building and are almost finished with Hosororo Secondary, Quebana Secondary, and
That's a
Matthews
secondary
Ridge Secondary. In Region 2, President Ali commissioned the Abram Zul Secondary, and next year, once you give him the chance, he'll be commissioning the Cotton Field Secondary. In Region 3 here, he commissions this school, and he brought in the Westminster Secondary. And next year, if you give him the chance, he'll be commissioning the Neem Secondary, the Crane Secondary, and there was another one. In Region 4, once you give him the mandate, he's going to be commissioning the Prospect Secondary and the Caneville Secondary, bringing that to 4 because he's already commissioned the Yarra Cabra Secondary and Good Hope Secondary. In Region 6, in Oriala, he's going to be commissioning the Oriala Siparuta Secondary School. In Region 7, he's going to be commissioning Jawala Secondary, Philippi Secondary, Carao Secondary, Isano Secondary. In Region 8, he's going to be commissioning Kopinan Secondary, Monkey Mountain Secondary, Mykobi Secondary. In Region 9, he has already commissioned 2 new secondary schools, Katoka Secondary and Upakari Secondary, and he's asked me to go in next week and commission the Masara Secondary and Napi Secondary. But by next year, he's going to be commissioning the Karasabai Secondary, Mawaranao Secondary, Shulinab Secondary, Karodanao Secondary, and Tapachinga Secondary, 9 secondary schools for Region 9. In Region 10, he's going to be commissioning the Christianberg Secondary School. And in Georgetown, he has already commissioned St. George's Secondary, Christchurch Secondary, Brickdam Secondary, North Rheinveld Secondary, and he has expanded significantly the Queen's College High, Bishop's High, St. Rose's, St. Stanislaus, East Rumveld, St. Winifred's, Campbellville, Tocqueville. This is the president you have. And the consultant, who will tell you we weren't always this pleasant when we were speaking to or about him, because we had to get the school up. And I want to commend the contractors, even though they took longer than they should have. Because when you walk through this school, you will see it's not just a secondary school that we build and say, hey, take up. It's a beautiful edifice where when your children walk through these doors, walk through those gates, they want to learn. This will be their oasis, their place of safety, their place of nurturing, their place where they know that this president is going to allow them to be anything they want to be, staying right here in Region 3. And so we already have 140 children in grade 8. And I want to thank the Tuschen Masjid, who, without hesitation, allowed me to host those children at their masjid for the last year. Took them through grade 7 and have now brought them safely over to us to take them to grade 8. Thank you, Tuschen Masjid. Sector, buy back on September 1st, but you buying him back not for his sake, you buying him back so that you don't get no cast of people in your house and your belly won't hurt you in the next 5 years. Retaste their cash, let's buy him back. Now, my wish for this school, for every child who will walk into these classrooms, for every teacher who will come here, is that you stay safe, that you are blessed, that you are inspired each day, that you learn from each other, and that you feel and learn love and community service. That's my prayer for this school. May the good Lord bless us all and keep us. And may He bless Guyana and cause His face to shine upon us all. I love you and God bless you.
First of all, please have your seats. First of all, allow me to congratulate Tuschen, Zealot, Metamainzorg, Dekendron, and all of Region 3 for this tremendous accomplishment in this new secondary school here at Tuschen.
Yeah.
Allow me also to congratulate Minister Priyamanichan.
Ladies and gentlemen, students, good morning. It gives me great pleasure and a deep sense of honor to extend a warm welcome to each of you to this historic occasion, the commissioning of the Tuschen Secondary School. Right here in Tuschen Block 8, New Scheme, East Bank, Esquivel, as we gather not only to open the doors of a new institution, but also to open new opportunities, brighter futures, and endless possibilities for children and families of this community. Education is one of the greatest investments any society can make, and the establishment of this school reflects the government and community's unwavering commitment to ensuring that every child has access to quality learning in an environment that is safe, modern, and conducive to growth. Tuschen Secondary School stands as a beacon of hope, where young minds will be nurtured, character will be shaped, and leaders of tomorrow will be molded. Therefore, as we welcome this new beginning, we also celebrate the collective effort that has brought us here. The vision of our leaders, the dedication of the Ministry of Education, the support of the community, and the hard work of all who contributed to the construction and development of this school. On behalf of the staff and students of Tuschen Secondary School, I extend heartfelt gratitude to all present today for sharing in this proud moment. Once again, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Paul. Excellency, colleague, Minister Indar, all the education officers, whether senior or junior, teachers, HMs, all the people of Tuschen and the children here this morning, a very, very good morning to you at what is a historic day in your community. I'm really, really pleased and gratified that we're able to be here today. So I want to go back a little bit. When President Ali was sworn into office on the 2nd of August 2020, after a brutal 5 months where him and GS Barjagdeo, fed by the energy you provided and the guidance you gave and the requests you had that we secure your vote and your right to elect a government and to reject a government. That was the brutal period we went in. But when he came in, he found an even more brutal environment. And that is why experience is necessary. We don't talk about these things enough. But if you had people who had assumed office in 2020, when everybody was wearing masks, or let me change that, when everybody didn't yet have masks, because the only people masking up the country at the time was the PPPC who was in opposition. When we didn't have vaccines, when we couldn't gather, but we still needed a country to move. We still needed children to be educated. It was Arfan Ali as your young president, but with massive experience in governing and governance behind him, that pulled together the education team and said, these are the issues we will fix and we will begin to fix. One was access to nursery, primary, and secondary education. What's access? It means you must be able to go to a school. Two was quality. Once we got into that school, we must have a high quality education, and that must come with trained teachers, resources in the schools, constant monitoring and evaluation and training and retraining. Three, we must support parents as far as we could to remove from them the hidden costs of education. So although we say it's free, we still found you having to take out money here and there to spend on issues. And immediately, while the world was still trying to grapple with how to move forward, we began that task. And this is one of the schools that was born of that task. And so on access, I'm really happy to tell you that over 3.5 years, because while we wanted to do everything from the beginning, we simply could not. The laws and medical advice did not allow us to gather. In 3.5 years, we have built 6 to 7 nursery schools across Guyana. In 3.5 years, we have built 4 to 5 primary schools across Guyana. And in 3.5 years, we have built or are building 4 to 2 secondary schools across Guyana. And I want to talk to you about your region. When I came into office, I saw someone last night living foreign, has his own personal housing issues, saying that what is Priya talking about? Is she on crack? We've always had universal secondary education since 1976. So I want to tell you what we met here in 2020. And the superintendent of exams is here. And she will tell you that she came to me in August of 2020. The results for NGSA had not yet been announced. And she said, we're going to have it from CXC shortly. But I want to tell you what your challenge will be. And I said, speak. And she said in Region 3, we do not have space or seats for about 865 children. We cannot place them into a secondary school. She didn't tell me about the jungle. She didn't tell me about the bush. She's telling me about Region 3, your region, your children. She said on the East Bank, we have about 563 children who cannot be placed into secondary schools because we have no schools for them. She told me in Georgetown, we don't have space for about 650 children because we do not have enough space for them in the schools. And I said, but Sadia, what are you telling me really? What am I going to do with these children? And she said, well, that's why I'm here.
I got a little late to the bridge and I had to wait. His Excellency, next time I'll be driving over, really. And one of the, I will have to wait that way. But one of the persons there said to me that she saw you post a picture last night that you were here. And she said she's happy to see the Queen's College of Region 3. So I know that the Queen's is your heart. It is all of your hearts here that we are delivering excellent service in every single region. region.
Tirelessly to ensure that yet again the education sector can celebrate an enormous accomplishment under the People's Progressive Party civic government. Today is much more than the commissioning of a secondary school. Today is about a new beginning for many families and many children. Today is about new opportunities. Today is about you here in Tuschen and in Region 3 adding to your regional asset a piece of infrastructure that is second to none in our country. Today, as Priya said, we are not giving you something that is halfway there. Today we are delivering to the people of Region 3 a school that can match any other such school in the entire CELAC region, Caribbean, Latin American region. And later on in this short presentation, I will tell you why we built such a structure. Because this government is not only about the immediate solution. We always think beyond today. We think about the long term. We think about all the opportunities that we want to create. And when we decided that we're going to build such an expansive secondary school here, and we decided that in close proximity to this secondary school, we wanted the Dekendra, the new regional hospital, and we decided that we wanted a call center in this community. We had a much larger plan behind those decisions. And today, you will have a greater understanding and appreciation for what that much larger plan will look like and feel like. Today, we're going to speak to you about this enormous future we are building for Region 3. You know, in that just show me some, I don't know if it is propaganda or if it is just some AI generated image. The next 5 years will see us continue with our policy of free education at all levels to ensure that no student is locked out from education. Continue to expand opportunities for higher learning through the Guyana Online Academy of Learning. And I've asked Priya Manichan to look at the secondary schools, including Tuschen here, and for us to outfit it with a full technology so that those who are registered on the Gold program can come here in the evening and study and complete their diplomas, their degrees, their masters right here. So one block of this building will be dedicated specifically for this. Ensuring adequate textbooks are available at every grade level. Paying fully up for 8 subjects CXC and CAPE for every student. This is a government that cares about the future. This is a government that cares about your children. This is a government that understands the underpinning philosophy of what guides good quality education and what guides the transformation of our country. The establishing of a special education needs facility in every single region, because disability must never mean invisibility. Very soon, we'll be commissioning the first state-of-the-art school to cater for our children with disability here in Region 3 at Crane. These are the things we are doing for you. Continue to improve the pay for our teachers. Not only the pay, their welfare, giving them better access to health care, better access to take care of their children when they come to school with child-friendly environment, daycare centers as we know them, giving them better environment to work in. Which teacher would not cherish working in a beautiful environment like this we're celebrating today? Expanding digital and online education, because geography must never determine destiny, and because we can equalize standards of education through digital education. Strengthening technical and vocational education, because not every child will be a doctor or a lawyer, but every child deserves a pathway to success. Expanding STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, because if we were to lead in this new world, our children must be prepared to innovate, to invent, and to inspire. Establish the Guyana Digital School, because digitization is the future, because it makes knowledge, services, and opportunities accessible to anyone, anywhere, at any time. Today, in developed economies, it is a driver of driving innovation, efficiency, and global competitiveness. It can do the same for us, and it must do the same for us. Now I know what some of you may be thinking. You may be saying promises, promises, promises. But I ask you to take a moment and think. How many times in our history have promises been made to improve education? True, too many. And how many times did those promises remain just words, just speeches, just headlines? But today in Tuschen is another example of a government that delivers, of a government that you can trust to deliver to you, of a government that does not just promise, but work relentlessly to deliver to you. This is not a dream deferred. This is a promise delivered. This is a shift. This is a foundation that will carry Guyana forward for decades to come. So why are we building so many new schools and upgrading others? The answer is simple. Because a modern economy demands a highly educated and skilled workforce. But a workforce will never exist unless education is accessible to every child. Accessibility, in turn, requires schools, more of them, closer to communities, with the right support system to keep children in classrooms. We are not content to give our children any education. We are committed to giving them quality education, the best possible education. That means trained teachers who can inspire and pass on knowledge. That means smart classrooms, computer labs, and science laboratories. That means schools that prepare for our young people, not just to survive in tomorrow's world, but to master it. This is why we are doing what we are doing. We are not building schools. We are erecting the very foundation of a new Guyana. Tuschen Secondary School is a product of that forward-looking thinking. It is part of our overarching plan to revolutionize access to and delivery of education. It is aimed at ensuring higher levels of attainment by investing in the resources needed to produce better results. Tuschen Secondary School says to every child that their dream is valid. It is saying to every parent, your child has a chance and will not be left behind. It says to every teacher that your work is valued. It is my government's expectation that universal secondary education will become a reality in Guyana sooner rather than later. And I want to commend the minister and the ministry for taking the bull by the horn and working relentlessly for the achievement of this. And this will be a historic day for our nation, because it is easy to say that we have had free secondary education for some time. But let us never forget that at one time there were insufficient schools to allow every student to access secondary education, but there were also secondary schools without secondary education. Very important. Education is not the building, it's about the teachers, the facilities, the opportunities. All of that we've invested in. To our teachers, I want to pause and speak directly to you. We value you, the work you do inside our classrooms. Never believe that your work has gone unnoticed. Never believe that your sacrifices have been overlooked. This government sees you. We know that you're not just employees. We are the architects, you are the architects of our nation's destiny. You're the ones who take raw potential and shape it into brilliance. I've often been told that teachers mold the minds of future generations. That is why we'll continue within our means to invest in you through better pay, better training, and better working conditions. Because you inspire. And when you inspire, our children achieve. And when our children achieve, Guyana moves forward. And to the students who will attend this school, I want to let you know that this is your school. But more than that, this is your future. Do not let anyone tell you that your dream is too big. Do not let anyone tell you that your circumstances defines your destiny. You are the dream carriers of Guyana, and this government will give you the wings to fly. So let me ask all of you, do we want to be remembered as a generation that had oil and other revenue but left its children uneducated? No, we do not. Do we want to be remembered as a generation that had billions but left its young people without skills, without hope, without opportunity? No, we do not. Do we want to be remembered as a generation that built roads and bridges but forgot to build minds and the future? No, we do not. We want to be remembered as a generation that chose education, the generation that invested in its people, the generation that lifted Guyana from promise to prosperity. The future is unstoppable. It comes at us with or without our permission, with or without our preparation. The question, therefore, is not whether the future will arrive, but whether we will shape it or be shaped by it. And the only tool powerful enough to bend the future in our favor is education. Education equips our children not only with knowledge, but with imagination and the skills to turn uncertainty into opportunity. Let us then resolve to fashion a future of hope and possibility by ensuring that our children grasp the opportunities being provided through our investment in education. When we build schools, train teachers, and open the doors of learning to every child, we are not just teaching lessons for the classroom. We are writing the blueprint for a brighter tomorrow. Education is the bridge that carries our children from where they are to where they can be, from dreams to achievements, from potential to prosperity. The best investment any nation can make is to give its children a good education. Because while material possessions can be stripped away, an educated mind is beyond theft. Education equips a child with knowledge, skills, and confidence, tools that cannot be taken or diminished by circumstances. It is the one inheritance that grows in value with time, empowering our children to create opportunities, overcome adversity, and shape their own destiny. In giving them education, we are giving them a wealth. We are giving them the future in their hand. A branch of the College of Medical Science from the University of Guyana. And when we spoke, we are careful planners. When we spoke about second jobs and giving tax break for second jobs, the senior doctors that will be working at the hospital and senior nurses and technicians who are working in the system here in Region 3 will now have their tax incentive in their second job lecturing at the College of Medical Sciences here in Tuschen and here in Region 3. And I want to tell you that there are 17 programs, 17 plus programs in the College of Medical Sciences. And the University of Guyana has received 206 applications. And because they do not have enough space, 206 for Region 3 alone, and because they do not have enough space, only 86 of them could have been offered a space in the program. So 144 of them are currently disappointed because there was no space. No more disappointment. By the end of this year, 144 of them will study those fields right here in this region. So whether you're from Legwan, Bonasika, Wakenham, whether you're from Carrier, whether you're from Liberty, Hog Island, anywhere in the Sikima River, in the Demerara River, on the West Bank, on the West Coast, today Region 3, with your government, you have your own College of Medical Sciences. Some of you come on this side. Some on that side. There's some on that side. Where's the guy? Where's the young man? Coming closer. Get big clap now.
Tuschen Secondary School.
President and Minister, good work what you do. I want you to go back here again and again.
Thank you. Well done, President.
May God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Leon, I want to wish you all the best on your life ahead. Know that just like your master of mathematics, your master in art of art, right? Remarkable talent here in Ghana. We love you. We're happy you're from Tuschen. We know you're going to come and do your genius techniques with these children. We look forward to your service. Just want to take this opportunity to witness the manager and everyone wish you a great future ahead. And listen, we're going to celebrate your wedding in style and scope. Good luck.
Yes, yeah, boy. Nice, nice.
Really like the skills there.
You got that heels. Go on. Go on. You gotta try hustle. Head teachers. So this is the staff room.
This is the standing committee. This is who she has to do a box view. You have to see the material they did from nursery all the way to post-secondary with your mother's work to make sure everybody is doing it. Yeah, so this is the library space, which is not something a lot of
was studying in English, right? We didn't teach that community right. Yeah. So it's doing wrong. That's one of the things you gotta do in this. Like,
IT lab. That is the video of the opening of Tuschen Secondary School here in Tuschen. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, share, and most of all, peace be to you.